Doing? Okay. My friends, we are trying this again. I've been practicing for the last 3 hours. So, as the title implies, we're going to attempt to beat the all-time record. Now, I've been chasing this for the last... I'll show you guys the session. We have been chasing this for the last 11 laps. It's our current best. Now, this is not the same session as the one where we did the 8093. That one, I had to leave because, honestly, it wore me out. So, yeah, this is going to be a very, very long night. So, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing set up, and we are going to hit the road for God knows how long this is going to take. There's no telling nor guarantee that I'll beat it tonight. But we will keep trying again and again and again every single lap. Now, if I show you guys the current setup we're running. So, brake bias in the GP layout. We're running a brake bias of 59, meaning the brakes are going to be working in the rear of the car. It's the rear, that's the front. We're going to be here as far as the brake bias. Then, once we get to the north loop, we'll set the brake bias where it's in the middle, where both of these tires will mostly be doing the braking, and then the further we go, we'll move the brake bias more towards the front, which will be past 59, like 60 to 62%. Fuel load's fine, and I could always lower it and make the car lighter, but honestly, just balance-wise, we're fine. Now we have enough front aero to keep the car planted, and we are toying with this one, meaning we have just enough to stay planted, and we'll also have more straight line speed, but because this thing's more for straight line speed rather than mechanical grab and aerodynamics, we are playing with the rear stability here, since there's not enough downforce to keep that rear planted. We changed the final ratio from the default 37857 to 3.75, topping our top speed at 180 miles per hour. So we'll have just a bit more straight line speed there. We changed the differential in the rear for the power at 25. I mean, the lower it is, we'll give less traction, letting the spinning wheels continue to spin, making the car more stable under power, but also makes you lose time and overheat the tires. So that might be a setting we'll play around. The coast, we left that one alone. Makes the car stable under braking, but makes it want to turn less. Meanwhile, if we were to lower it, meaning we'll be less stable under braking, but it'll be more agile and willing to rotate. So we're keeping that where it is. Or we could always change that to 50 and see what that does. Now, it's probably the best tire that we can use for this track. I would go Super Slicks, just for like that maximum grip, but longevity-wise, I'm not sure if that will work for us, so we'll have to stick to the softs, which is good enough. We got just enough pressures in the front for the fronts to get heat. We'll probably want to bump this up a couple more clicks, but we'll leave the setup as is. What just happened? Okay, screw you too. Oh, brother. The game crashed. Beautiful. Ugh. least the stream's still going. Okay. Weird. Whatever. Okay, let's try to... No, let's do this. That was random. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay. So that happened. At least I wrote it down. Yes, I wrote down the setup we'll be using. Use offline. Okay, I think the ambient temperatures, we're gonna cool it down just a little more at 14. So it's a little bit cooler for the softs to breathe a bit. Stability control, we'll keep that at 100%. Traction control and ABS will be off, so we'll be using maximum brake power and maximum power under throttle. No use of mechanical damage, otherwise we'll be torturing ourselves with that one. Automatic gearbox off, we're using the paddle shifters. Okay. And that'll be something I'll cover on my Instagram. Which, by the way, that's -1YT if you're following. Which now brake bias 59, rear 5, drivetrain 175. Lower that. Softs, bump that one up. The rear toe, changing 3.5 toe. Let's sit down here. Okay, for toe, 10 in the front, 15 in the rear. Height, we'll keep that where it is. Springs, we'll keep that where it is. The fronts, I'm just going to lower the entry roll bar in the front down a click. Bump, 6 in the front, 12 in the rear. It's going to bump it up a click. Fast bump, keep that where it is. Rebound, keep that where it is. Fast rebound, lower the rear a click. Packer rate, we could raise it a couple of clicks and see what that does. But if it comes out terrible, then we'll just change it. And everything else, leave it off. Alright. Now, if I'm being honest, we're probably just going to start with a slow lap, just to get an idea where we're going to place the car. Just going to explore the track a second. Alright, yeah, I'll just do this. So, starting out, heavy braking between the 150 board here and right about where the pit line starts to curve a little bit. We'll be about the middle, but pointing the car towards the curve. So it's gonna be down, down, down. Basically want to try and get it in the first gear by the time we get to about right about 5 squares of the curve. That's where you want to start to turn in. And just roll over the curve here. You want to try and pitch the nose where close to the wall there and get on the gas early. And by this point we want to be between 20 to 22 seconds. Next braking zone, this will be going from fourth gear down to third. It'll be right after those cones. So as we're coming down, that's where we'll want to get on the line here. Position the car in the middle. And so we're going to shift down to second. Take the corner like this. Run it all the way out to the curb. We'll be up the gears, about fifth gear here. I'm not going to shift down that early, but somewhere around here, or at the latest, maybe here, is where we're going to be hard on the brakes but trailing off. And we'll want to execute this where we're doing an early apex, where you're putting the nose out like this, and pitching the nose where you can throttle completely out here, running all the way out to the curb. You're going to be up the gears. Now you want to be careful if you're going to execute this one. You don't want to take either of these too hard, because if your rears get up on these curves, they can spit you out, but this will be mostly sort of kind of flat. And next braking zone will be here after that white line. Yeah, so this white line here. So that's where you're going to want to be on the brakes. And you're probably going to start to turn right after that green pad. Just run your left tires up on the curb. Take it all the way out. You want to immediately switch. You'll be about third gear. Let the car coast. Wait. Then you want to plant the throttle like that. Run it all the way out to the curb. This whole next section is flat. You want to be close to the curb there and run it all the way out to this strip there. Now, your next braking zone will be here at that 100-meter board. You'll be shifting down to third from sixth gear. And you want to take the curves like this. Run it all the way out. Over here. And the turning point is tricky here. So either be between, I can't even read what that number is, but that's place, was that 28? 48. Damn, that far? Turning point's going to be right about where the pit entry for the GP circuit goes. It'll be in second gear when you take this corner. You don't want to run up on that curve because that can unsettle the car. Your next braking zone will be after this middle fence. Position the car between the white line here. You kind of want to watch it, but you'll see the track open up a bit. You'll be up the gears. This will be flat if you got the line right. You usually want to run it out to that brake strip there. Braking zone is going to be right about where the graffiti starts. So you'll be going from fourth gear. You kind of want to trail in fourth gear and shift down to third. Position the car in the middle. You'll be mostly flat and you'll start to lift off here. That's usually the line where you want to be right where the inside curbs are. Take all the way here, and right where the track starts to bend is where you want to turn in. You want to be careful getting into the grass. You can lock up here. That's where you can get a nice exit there. Okay, now this one's going to be flat completely, all the way up here. So when you're taking this flat, you'll want to start to turn in right where this starts. Like once you pass this ambulance here, that's where you'll start to turn in. So you'll just kind of flick the steering wheel. Not like that, well, kind of like that, but not like that when you're slow. And that'll take it to the inside curve so you can take this corner flat. If you're driving any other kind of car, it more or less just kind of depends. Sometimes you gotta lift, other times you don't. It depends on the car. This is gonna be either a lift or mostly flat. You'll start to turn in after this 5 kilometer sign. Taking it to the inside. And right when the road starts to straighten out is where you'll start to trail off the gas a bit. And right when the tarmac changes is where you'll start to hit the brakes too. So if you got this right, you can either take an early apex running it wide first, or if you can save it if you lock up. Did not mean to go off track. So you can either take an early apex going all the way here and wait a sec, or you can take it more towards the middle. The important part on the exit, you'll want to be on the inside line near this curve here. Throttle out, and if you got it right, you can run it up on the curve, like that. This next section is flat. You're not going to be trailing off, but you'll still be flat. In the next braking zone, alright, it's going to be a light brake after this sign here. And right where that curve ends, you'll start to turn in, run up on that curve. It's a little blind, so you have to catch it in time. You'll still be on the brakes, but you'll want to be on the inside curve here. Take it towards the middle. And right after this thick graffiti here is where you'll start to position the car for this corner. It's best to kind of take an early apex here so you can get a fast exit out. Run it all the way up to the curb on the outside. So this next section is going to be a lift. Not this early, but you'll start to lift off right about... Honestly, if you're going fast, it'll be like just a moment after one of these trees on this side here. So I start to lift off probably about here or here. You just kind of want to take it towards the inside curb as much as you can. Take it all the way out, and then you'll start to brake right about after that purple graffiti there. You'll be in third gear by this point. You want to trail the car and let it, and then try and get on the gas as early as possible to take this next section. Now, after the 8-kilometer sign, that's where you'll want to start to brake. Once you'll be in fourth gear by this point, but you'll want to shift down to second. This one's an early apex, so run it wide, and then after that white line there, that's where you want to throttle out. Take it all the way out. Not too much. This is flat. You'll kind of see it. Take it like that. After this rumble strip here, that's on the brakes. You'll be in fourth gear from fifth gear. Position it like that, and I think the braking zone here would be after you'll sort of catch it, but it'll be after this tree right here. So that's where you want to brake, or even before that. Because by here, you'll be in fourth gear, shifting down to third, then down to second. Just want to position the car for an early apex, because most drivers usually go in here. But if I'm trying to get an exit out as early as possible, I personally position the car, if I can, about here, but if I have to get the car in, I point towards the middle. But more importantly, you'll want to be in the middle by this point to turn the car enough to catch the next section, and you'll be fully on the gas on the exit there, but they'll be careful because it can unsettle the car. Next section, it'll be right before this rumble strip ends. That's where you'll want to be in third gear for this corner, so you'll trail the brakes in, position the car right on the inside of there, run it out, not too wide. You want to try and get it over to this side as soon as possible to position the car right before this next section here. And you'll want to take it easy on the gas because it's really easy to unsettle the car if you're not careful. This next corner's flat. This next section's flat. And between that sign and that black sign is where you'll want to brake. The black sign at the latest. You'll be from fourth gear to third gear, and this is usually an early apex. So you'll want to be out here, and you'll want to be kind of at the apex after that rumble strip there. And that's where you'll fully be on the gas. You take it all the way out. If you got it right, you can get a really good exit out of here, because this next section is completely flat. Kind of want to hold it on the inside. Position to the right. Nice and easy on the input. Take that next section flat, and you can kind of just relax a little bit. Alright, now this next section is a little bit of a tap and geared shift down. So I actually managed to get like stupidly close to the wall here, like right about here. And if you got it right, that's where you can actually turn in after that rumble strip to take the inside here, and that'll position for the wide out here. Turn in right after this little hill. Take this next apex flat, and you kind of want to trail. You kind of want to hit the brakes after that. But wait a second, because when it starts to straighten out, that's where you want to start to shift down. You want to be in second gear by this point. So you're trailing the brakes in, slowing down the car, low enough where you can plant the gas. That's usually early apex there. Now you want to be now here's the carousel section where you'll brake right about here. After that pink graffiti, you'll want to shift down from fourth to second. You'll go into the carousel and you want to basically throw it in there. So as soon as you drop in there, turn the steering wheel so you can hit the banking, and just manage the throttle so you can stay on it, and then get on it as early as possible to take that exit. This next section's flat, so it's just a shift from here, left, brake. Kind of want to just manage the throttle here. You can run it out if possible, so long as you can take this one in third gear, trailing in. Alright, it's positioned to the left. Prepare yourself for this next section. Just hold it to the right, and then get as close to the left as possible to run up on that curb. Plant the gas over that second one. Third gear, usually, or fourth gear if you can manage it. After that part, inside. And as soon as you see the rumble strip, take it out. Turn in after the black sign, fourth to third. Hold the inside. Take it to the middle for the apex. And then after that rumble strip, you want to tap the brakes again. The inside, ride it all the way out. I mean, all the way out. And right where that ends is where you want to tap the brakes again. Roll the car up. You want to be patient, and then run it out again. Then right where the uphill starts is where you'll tap the brakes and just manage the throttle all the way out. Take this curb all the way. These next little sections is flat, so just to the left, right, position for the left, tap the brakes before the jump, and you'll kind of just feel that shift. If you got it right, you'll kind of run wide just a bit, but enough to take this next section flat. Start to turn in, run it all the way out, turn in early for this next corner here, turn in early again, and keep it straight line speed. This next section, you'll start to trail on the brakes right after this black tarmac here. That's where you'll want to be on the brakes. Just a bit. From fifth gear. Well, you'll be in sixth gear by this point. We're going to shift down to fifth. And just kind of turn out the apex as best as possible. Hold it in the middle, shift down to fourth. And then just trail the brakes. Get down to third, take this inside line, take it all the way out. Careful on the curb. And then after, say, before this ends, where it started to turn in here. Alright, and then just ride the momentum out of there. Alright, position it to the left. Turn in early. Hold the steering. Run out wide, turn it early again. Hold it there, take it all the way out. Alright, this is the Dottinger Hohe Straight. It's one of the longest straights on this track, minus the one that's just past Nürburgring Tower, which you kind of saw off in the distance there, and the other straight before that curve. Position it to the right. Turn in early for this next apex. You're still flat, And it'll be after this second curve here, so we start down the brakes. And you kind of want to be down to second, just stay on the brakes so you can take this curve. And then, if you're safe enough, you can get on the gas on the exit. After all that, your lap should look like this. Look, too eager on the throttle. I'll sit here and admit this is not my cleanest lap. It's only going to get harder from here. Okay, that was 8:13.2. Now let's really try and get down to business. Okay, that one you want to be patient on the throttle. Really. Cleanest. We're still moving. Raise the brake bias to 262, so I got maximum brake power off. Using on the gears, throttle early. Ah! First mistake of the day. Okay, let's look at what happened. So let's see, how'd that happen? I had it. And yep. I think while I was trying to straighten the car out, the rear got caught up on the outside curb and it spat me out. We'll keep it moving. See if we can get a better time nonetheless. We're just a few tenths down. Okay. Oh, okay. That was way too much slide. And there's still more time there. Somehow it was faster? Somewhat better exit. So-and-so. Somehow open the corner. And look at that exit. Hesitating. I did gain some tense though. There's that at least. There's more momentum. No, there is. I had to be very brave on the gas there. Again. Somehow that almost worked. I had to change it to third gear to save it. Car is fighting me for grip. No. Kind of saved it. That is gonna hurt our momentum. I lost all the momentum I had. Darn it. That's okay. Still recover though. Woo! Ah. Breathe, breathe. Ah, too early. Too wide. Way too wide. You gotta walk around. This is what I'm talking about. How hard this is. This is hard. Besides that 100 lap race, this is easily one of the second hardest things I've ever done on this channel. Ever. And this is like hundreds of laps to just chase one lap. One lap. I need to punch the wall. Gotta walk around, stretch my legs, stretch my arms. This is one of the hardest things I've ever done. Once we get into the 8-minute knots, that right there, that's where we're really going to be crossing it. This is only the 4th lap, by the way. Yeah, we are in for a very, very long night. Too late. Way too late. 3 seconds down, just like that. Okay. Stop correcting where I don't need to correct. The car is snappy, but it's fun. Not every wiggle needs a correction. That one needed correction. So it's really just a matter of me tapping into my instincts again. It's stuff like this that makes sim racing fun. And it really punishes you and tests you where you are. But if somehow I did that right there. Oh. Not have the front grip. Still, but at least we're about a second up. Let's change it up to 62. We'll lower it to 60.5 after this. Darn it. Oh, go. Felt fast, but wasn't fast. Somehow worse. for fuck's sake! Jeez, what happened? Okay, let's see what we did. That might have been a rear lock. What happened? Oh, it was a rear lock. I'll lock the rears. This is fun. This is fun. We're just making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. But every lap, I gotta get up and walk around in a second. But we got a new best lap time of an 8-minute 10.849. Now, we'll be right within the target if I can somehow find 2 more seconds. Which is gonna take a second. Right now, my fingers hurt, my wrists hurt. I've been at this for a while now. This is hard. But at least I know I can do these times. It's just actually getting it right. That's gonna be a struggle. And then we give my wrist a second to rest. And we'll keep going. This has not been easy at all. Not me farting on stream. So, if we had to go back, okay, now what I meant to do. Okay, so we're just gonna go into this POV and go back and look at the lap that we did the last time. Just to kind of get an idea where we're at. Let's sit here and watch this whole lap in reverse. We're gonna see where we were slow, where we slid, where we overdid it, and just all these little things where that lap time adds up over time. It is vital to get almost every gear, every corner, every braking input, and all of that just right. But this one was an 8-minute 10, so we're gonna go back and have a look and see how we did that. Let's see where we overdid it. Let's start from there. I feel like it's always the first part that I mess up. Because you have to get every single part of this first section right, because this is what defines the rest of the lap. The GP circuit is debatable how fast you are in this part. It is very, very debatable. Okay, let's have a look how that went. I'll turn it down for the sake of the neighbors next door. That was not the cleanest exit. I feel like I could have gotten better exit out of there. That wasn't too bad. It's hard getting that corner right. I gotta say, I admit, that's a hard corner to get right. Especially since it feels like you're waiting forever. You gotta keep your foot planted here. Not the cleanest, but that's the general idea. Flat. I lost the rear a second. Here. I feel like I could detect that corner harder. I lost a bit of time there. Really flirting with the track limits there. I feel like I could have tacked that one harder. I lost it on the exit there. We slide. I ran up on that curb. I was still somehow faster out of this corner. I feel like I hesitated here. This track is long that every single corner you have to commit. Track limits. Second gear. See how hard I attack this one. Too hard. I feel like if I had this one really smooth, that could be a really fast corner. Like if the car felt just right. And yeah, there's a lot of gaps I'm noticing. Like, there's gaps in my momentum. It feels fast on the onboard, but looking back at this, it feels like I'm not attacking hard enough. Like, there's gaps. I think it's mostly I'm on the brakes too long, and there's too soon of a gap between where my foot trails off the brake and onto the gas. So I think if I was just a little bit smoother with my inputs, this would be a really good lap. Yeah, it's an awkward exit. Staying flat. Staying flat. Screwed that one up. Now let's see what I did into the GP circuit again. Once we get to that part. But yeah, there's time on the table. Somewhere. Right about here. I'm gonna change the brake bars again. That was the execution I needed. If I was just smoother on the exit, I gained half a second here. And tires were too cold going here. Need to be smoother there. Too eager. So I lost time there. Anywhere I'm sliding is where I'm losing time. That was good. That one was really good. Hesitated a bit. Still flat. Now, where did I mess up in this section? Yeah, it was that slide. It was that slide. Can we go around for another lap and a half? That's the question. Ugh. That's the question. This is easily one of the hardest challenges I've ever put myself through. It's almost midnight. Ah, too deep. So that worked. Nope. That's what I need. Okay. So I saw that delta change. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting on the throttle sooner. Now we're back to 5 seconds. You know, we're just going to try it the rest of this lap. Whether we mess up or not, just know what to do. If we gain time, we gain time. If we don't, we don't. More importantly, it's just technique. Ugh, that's it. Keep it planted. Yep. I did not need to do that. It's really just timing. cool enough to... Oh, I just barely save it. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so it's there. It's just a matter of me actually getting it right. I think I need to lower the brake bias too. That might be causing me to understeer too. So I guess what I need to figure out is what areas do I need rear brake bias and what areas do I need frontward brake bias. I wish there was like a guide out there where... Okay, yeah, just getting on the throttle sooner. Let's try this again. As I missed the apex entirely. So I already butchered this lap. Let's just see how much time we can gain anyway. Ah! I was about to punch my wheel. But let me take a second to breathe. Okay. We got it. This is that part of this train where I'll be really, honestly learning self-control. I took that corner all wrong. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna restart that lap. I had to warm the tires up. Yeah, it was a tire degrad. Okay, that's crazy. What the fuck? Oh, fuck! Yeah, I need to give these tires a second to cool down. I need to give those tires a second to cool down. This is not gonna work. Ooh, that feels good. Okay. This is still the outlet, by the way. So there's really no pressure. We're talking about it. Tires are going to gradually cool down and then gradually heat up. So it never works. go. Just push. Tried to save it. I almost did it again. I almost forgot to breathe. Tires got plenty of heat in the fronts now. Somehow that worked. Well, even though my left side was completely overheated, it worked enough to get us to that point. So I'll take it. We'll just capitalize it the best we can and then coming straight. But what I am gonna do though, just so we try this again. That's just so I can get the fronts hot enough. That was terrible. The fronts are too hot. We'll make it work. See how it goes anyway. Yeah, too hot. Now I can barely feel the grip. Wait, hold on. Hold on. So if the gear's fine. Wait, now. Hey, we're getting our time back. Where's trying to hit me again? Oh, I had to catch it. Okay, somehow still gain time there. So there's that at least. Still caught it. Still isn't time. Mm. Okay. That was a correction that did not make. And I got spit out by the curb as a result. I gotta see what happened because ain't no way did I just grind it. So we had it, and the car got unsettled in the exit. That bounced, got up on the curb, got on this side. Yep, hit the curb. Sometimes you gotta. Oh. I gotta try this again. Next lap. I must have done about 20 laps. I'm gonna try this 6 hours. We never. what I need. Okay, let me just not focus on the delta, because that's probably what's screwing me up. Just focus on the corners, taking it as fast as I can. Look at the delta, I'm pressured to try and stay ahead of it. So let's actually focus on the lap. Then I have to remember that lockup that I had for this. Yes. margins are so thin. Minute 10-1. Almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Give me a break. Okay. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna call it a night. Late. We're getting close, but not close enough. I'm probably gonna do some more practice and adjust the setup a little more. That way we'll be able to, you know. Alright, so I'm gonna end it here. This is what changing hurts. I can feel it in my fingers. It's been a night. But we'll keep going with our attempts until we beat it. So stick around for part 2.